Welcome to the Nourish You Podcast, where we question the traditional model of dieting and nutrition and focus on choice, fun, and health for the whole mind, body, and spirit. I'm Jana Maurer, a non-traditional registered dietitian and well-being expert, and I want to challenge you to take 2% of your day today, listen to this episode, and make this your health win for the day. Pop in your earbuds, strap on your walking shoes, or pour a big glass of wine, whatever you need for today, and tune out the world as much as you can for the next 30 minutes, and let's fill up your cup. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nourish You Podcast. It's me, Jana, your host, and I'm going to finish out this year on solo episodes, so buckle up. But today okay, I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable. Not a little bit, I'm going to be a lot vulnerable on this episode because I've had a lot of things that have been on my mind that have just been really swirling. And I don't know if you can resonate with this, but have you ever had that where like you're thinking about a lot of different things, but maybe when you go to like journal or like really put them down on paper, nothing comes out? This is one of the reasons why like I love journaling, but I absolutely hate journaling because sometimes I have all these things on my mind. And when I go to write it down, nothing comes out. I don't know. Can you resonate with that? I'd love to hear if there's like other people that experience this. So what I share with my trainer, Robin, man, she knows so much about my life because when I am in motion, my emotions move and I'm able to oftentimes articulate so much more than if I'm static. So for example, if I'm getting prepared to write an article or make a post, or I have to do like really like mentally intensive work, I will go for a walk beforehand, and or I might like on the walk, I might actually be doing the work. So this is something I haven't shared this before, but when I did my first women's wellness retreat, I was preparing for what I was going to speak on, and I had the bullet points, I had everything laid out, but I didn't have the meat of it yet. And so right before, there were several other speakers that were getting up there, and I removed myself. Everyone was it was taken care of, and the other speakers were going, and I walked around the entire neighborhood probably about 10 times and finished writing my speech right before I went on. My brother was watching. He was so cute. My brother was watching me and he was like, okay, you got like 5 more minutes. So I was like, okay, I can do like 3 more laps. But oftentimes when I am in motion, again, my emotions move and I'm able to effectively articulate myself. So if you are someone that maybe struggles with journaling, try out the idea of motion to be able to get out what you want to say if you feel like that is maybe a potential barrier. But for today's episode, I really wanted it to just be, I didn't have any structure to it. I didn't have any bullet points because I really just wanted to be able to talk and share and connect with you. For those of you that are tuning in, I am so grateful that you continue to tune in every single week. This podcast has grown so much over the last year, and I'm so grateful that you give some of your time to listen to my voice. I mean, that is just, it's not beyond me. I will say it's not beyond me. I am so thankful, and to be able to step into that and really connect with you is such an honor. So thank you. For today's episode, this word has really not been leaving my mind. So the idea of being convinced. And I'm going to connect this to coaching. Obviously, you know, or if you're tuning in for the first time, I am a dietitian by trade, but I'm a well-being expert, and I support women, particularly women that have had chronic dieting histories, to be able to break that vicious cycle and to learn how to fuel and nourish their bodies so that they can actually get the results that they're looking for. Whether it be weight loss or strength or confidence or self-esteem, there's so many different outcomes from being able to nourish and take care of our bodies. And so I support women in this way. And I've really been struggling as of late because a lot of the work that I do, some of it's related to food, but a lot of it is not. A lot of it is rooted into how we've been taught to care for ourselves. A lot of it is rooted in how we see our self-worth and our value, what we essentially bring to the table. A lot of it is dealing with self-doubt and the negative emotions that we deal with, the negative sayings that we share with ourselves, the negative gremlin thoughts that we have. That's a lot of what I support women in the coaching experience. I support them on that because that's truly what's impacting you from getting the results that you're looking for in your wellness routine. So here's how this shows up. If you're a mother, you feel selfish for taking care of yourself. Well, no meal plan on this earth is going to help you with not feeling selfish. It's not going to address the issue. So you could get meal plan after meal plan after meal plan, but if you're still feeling selfish for taking care of yourself, it's a no-go, right? Like yes, you're getting a resource, but you're not actually addressing the true issue of why do you feel selfish when you take care of yourself? Question mark. What is that is a barrier that's preventing you from routinely showing up for yourself. And here's what I found, not only in my own experience, but also in my family, the generations of females, how this is all connected, how this shows up. Because a lot of times I have moms that come to me and the reason why they want to work together is because they don't want to pass this on to their daughters. They don't want their daughter to hate their bodies. They don't want their daughter to have low self-esteem. They don't want their daughter to be constantly stressed out and freaked out about food. They don't want their daughter to have weight issues. So a lot of the time, the reason why these women step forward is because of their kids. And mainly the daughters. I mainly work with women, so a lot of the times it is the connection with daughters. And what you are really telling me is you wish that someone had taught you this. You wish that someone had taken that step forward. You wish that someone had been courageous enough to elicit support. So I like to think of it as how can we gather support versus asking for help? Right? Like that can sound so different. We're gathering support, we're gathering all of those around us versus asking for help. And so this can be something that maybe you use instead of saying, I'm asking for help. How are you gathering support? But how can you do so in a way that is for you, that you are advocating for yourself and maybe an area that no one has taught you how to do this? If you think about it, a lot of times, especially in our culture, especially how we do things, is women are given products and quick fixes that you can purchase on repeat that don't actually solve the problem, that don't actually dive deep, that don't actually know you, that don't actually see you, that don't actually hear you. It literally has nothing to do with you. These products are created for millions of people, and we assume that everyone is the same. I have news for you. You are unique. You are different than everyone else out there. Your wellness plan is not supposed to look like everyone else's plan. It's supposed to be specialized and created for you. It's supposed to literally hit you deep in the sense of it's addressing your true needs. It's addressing your desires. It's addressing your goals, what you want your results to look like, what you want your life to look like. I mean, how many times have you been okay, this has happened to me. Okay, I might be getting on my soapbox here, so hang in there. But it's happened to me where I've walked into a doctor's office, they don't even look me in the eye and they tell me what's wrong. You have no idea. Literally, you know shit about me and you're telling me something. That makes no sense to me. One, it's super judgmental. Two, I feel like that's medical malpractice because you don't even know the person. So how can you give advice? This is where I love coaching because yes, I'm an expert. Yes, I'm highly trained. And yes, I know a lot about the wellness industry, but I don't know about you. You are the only person that is with you 24/7. You are the true expert in you. It's actually my job to get to know you. And it's also my job to ask the questions to elicit the responses so you get to know you. The coach is meant to come alongside you, be a partner, be with you on this journey as you are exploring your own intuition. What works for you? What doesn't work for you? What do you like? What don't you like? What are your actual goals? How can I see and hear you? How can you see and hear yourself? Like this is actually why the coaching experience might feel a little bit intimidating, because we have not been taught this whatsoever. We've been taught very surface level expectations from the wellness industry. That's not what I do. That's not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm ever going to advocate. And so what if it's uncomfortable? You're uncomfortable right now. You are uncomfortable in your own skin because you know something is off. You know something doesn't align. You know you're not taking care of your needs. You are uncomfortable. How about we be uncomfortable together as we get to explore who you actually are? What a blessing. It is such a blessing and an honor to come alongside women as they learn to take care of their own needs. To say, it's okay for me to care for myself, just as you make it okay to care for everyone else's needs. Just as you advocate for your son, your daughter, your husband, your mother, your father, your grandmother, the list goes on of who you are willing to advocate for. I simply ask that you add yourself to that list. Now, it doesn't need to be number one. I don't adhere to that where, self-care means that you are number one, you are your number one priority. I actually don't adhere to that because I don't think it's realistic. And I think it's kind of like egocentric and narcissistic of like always be number one. That's not the reality of life. Sometimes you're going to be number 3. Sometimes you're going to be number 5. Sometimes you are going to be number 10. But how can we, 1, put you on your own calendar, and 2, how can we move you up the list so you're not always at the bottom? Hey everyone, it's Jana, and I wanted to interrupt your content real quick to tell you about something that I've been using every single day, OWYN protein drink. I've been using it for the last year now and absolutely love this product. It's been something that's been so helpful to meet my protein needs, to meet my calorie needs, and to meet my overall nutrition and performance goals. I am super picky when it comes to recommending different products or supplements because I take a whole foods-based approach. So I highly encourage you to check this out for yourself, see if you like it. I do have a discount code for you. You can click the link in the show notes below. At checkout, you can put JanaM20 to get 20% off and check it out for yourself. Now back to the episode. Those are my questions that I ask. I think I've asked every coaching client that, because if we have been off in our wellness routine, we're likely not on our own calendars. Everything else is consuming our time and our energy, and we're not even giving ourselves anything. We're not giving ourselves anything because there's a block between you actually feeling like you're worth it. There's a block between you feeling like it's selfish if you were to do this. And a lot of that selfishness comes from this idea that's been shared with us around self-care is that if you are engaging in self-care, you're number 1. No, let's reframe that. Let's say, okay, how can we put you in part of your top 5? Top 5 for the day. Or how can you give yourself 1 minute? How can you give yourself 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever we can start with so that you gradually get the conditioning that it's okay and safe to take a deep breath. That's okay and safe to say, hey, I need a moment to get outside and go for a walk. I need that. So really, we are conditioning you to a different norm, and a norm that says that you can express your own needs. You are an individual. You have needs just like every other person that's around you. So this gets me into the other topic of one, really diving deep into what you truly need and how we can support your needs in a self-care fashion to get the results that you're looking for. Two, really being able to believe in yourself. So here's what I've also observed. So I have such a curious mind. I love watching people. My graduate thesis was on social norms. So I love watching people and looking at what the social norms tell us to do as individuals. And the social norms can be really helpful and they can be really hurtful. And one of the social norms that is in the wellness space is, because we are selling women products, the social norm is to really believe that you are weak as a woman, that you have no control, that you're frankly stupid. Like, these are some of the social norms as it relates to media and marketing to women for care. So, for example, marketing of your metabolism is broken. You need to reset your metabolism, or that this juice will fix all your problems. And has anyone had the Facebook ads that show like the people that have these like bulging stomachs over their clothes and literally have them running as an obese person and then have them shrinking to super, super skinny, like Beachbody models or whatever? Like, how derogatory to the human body. Seriously. Like, does anyone else feel like that's derogatory? Like, I don't care what size your body is. I'm happy that you're exercising. And so what? Like, what if you were exercising and you didn't lose a pound? Here's why I'm still happy for you: because you exercise. You were still doing something to take care of your needs. Like, why is it that everything in the wellness space is predicated on weight loss and having a size 0, but big enough boobs, big enough asses, and everything like perfect in order to be qualified to be healthy? Ugh, I'm sorry, but you are qualified to be healthy in many different ways. So here's the thing. I don't believe that you are weak. I actually believe that you're really strong. I don't believe that you're stupid. I believe that you are intelligent beyond any means. I don't believe that you are out of control. I believe that you can be in control if you decide to assume the responsibility. I believe that you have the power to change your own life if you so choose. I have a higher belief in the female spirit, the female body, the female knowing than any of the damn marketing that's out there. Sorry, this one apparently has a lot of cuss words in it. I don't really care, because this is the stuff that really pisses me off, because here's what this does. This makes you doubt yourself. This makes you doubt your body. This makes you doubt your abilities. And it puts you in a disempowering stance, which is not the goal of health whatsoever. The goal of health is not to be mandated. The goal of health is not to be disempowered. The goal of health is not to be militant. The goal of health is to be free, to have so much, like literally feel so free in your own body that you know that you're unstoppable, that you know that you are capable. Maybe you don't have the skill set right now, but you know that you will get there. What I teach women is to be convinced of themselves, not convinced of me, not convinced of their coworker, not convinced of their husband, convinced of themselves. You can do this. But where is this in our conversation in society? Where is it like made okay that you can acknowledge all the things that you do from a day-to-day basis and not be called conceited or not be called a bitch or not be called, well, who does she think she is? Or all the other little gossip that happens behind the scenes. We know it. It's okay to admit it. We all know this happens. Or even the comparison of other women. Because, like, has that ever happened to you where you walked in a room and people size you up in 2 seconds? I've had that happen so many times as a dietitian. As soon as I say I'm a dietitian, people look me up and down to determine if my body fits their mold of what a dietitian should look like. And two, then if I'm carrying food or have food, they assess what I'm eating and determine, oh, I didn't know a dietitian could eat that. Where did that playbook come from? I have no freaking clue where that playbook came from. And I really, really want to rewrite that playbook. So I am. I am rewriting it for my own wellness journey and for the women that I support. Because I know so many women, maybe it's not being talked about on the streets, but in one-on-one sessions, that's where the deep stuff happens. That is where the unraveling of all of these ways that we've been conditioned to question ourselves, to question our abilities, to question our bodies, to not ask the questions. That's where the unraveling happens in the coaching session, so that you leave my program empowered, convinced of yourself and your abilities and your body, and you see it as the miracle that it is, that you have the results that you're looking for. Yeah, sure, it's going to take longer. I'm totally transparent about that. I am no 6-week quick fix. You're not going to drop the weight instantly. That's not my game plan. Here's what you will get. You will get true internal and external transformation. I have worked with women that have fought tooth and nail to quiet their gremlins and actually see themselves for who they really are. I have seen women that have gone from not showing their body, not being intimate with their husband, not, getting on the scale every single day and feeling like shit, to being able to have sex with their partner regularly and feeling confident in doing so. Not letting the scale dictate how they truly feel and the worth that they bring to the table. Of being able to walk into a grocery store and be like, oh, I can navigate all these aisles. This is no stress for me. I'm going to do this, this, and this. And this is the meal plan. This is what I'm going to eat. This is what my family's going to eat. I see them having conversations that they've never had with themselves, their partner, their kids. I have literally had women cry on the phone with me because they actually know how to communicate their needs in a doctor's office. And they also know how to teach their daughters and their sons what it means to take care of their bodies and be advocates for themselves. So yeah, it takes a little bit longer. I'm okay with that. No menu plan can provide you with that. No 4-6 week program can provide you with that. Because sure, you might lose 20 pounds, but you'll gain it back plus more. That's not the game that I'm in. That's not the client I want to work with, because there is so much more to be talked about. There's so much more to dive into. There's so much more to be supported on. There's so many other ways to care for your body. That is cool stuff. That is why I love what I do. It's why I love working with women. That's why I love being on their journeys and why we dive deep to really be able to be free. That is the goal, to be free. So I feel like I could go on for hours on this actually, but that is what I wanted to share with you. I have so many things that have been running through my mind, but ultimately I just want women to be convinced of themselves. I want them to have the conversations that truly matter. I want them to leave feeling empowered, and I want them to know that they have a courageous space, not a safe space, but a courageous space in order to do so. So I am so thankful that you continue to tune in to the Nourish You podcast. Feel free to share this with all the other females that you know so that we can really create momentum around this and so we can take back our own health. All right, until next time. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day today to tune in. If you love today's content, leave me a review letting me know exactly what you liked best, and remember to share my podcast with others to join the Nourish You community. If you want more great content like this between episodes, I encourage you to join my mailing list. You can click the link below in the show notes or check out my website at www.healthwins.org, and let's stay in touch. Until next time, I'm Jana. Talk soon.